Hey everyone, Mr. Mom Collectibles. I am back with another video, but today is something extraordinarily special. Now, bear with me for a moment, please. If I have your attention this far, just a few seconds in, stay with me just a little bit longer, and we'll get right into the main portion of the video. But I recorded something a few weeks back about the DX06 Jack Sparrow. I said that it was basically the greatest six scale figure to enter my collection, which that was true. 100%. If you guys want to check out that video, I'll put that in, up top here. If you guys want to take a look at that one, I just did a quick overview showcasing video of the, Pirates of the Caribbean Jack Sparrow. And everything I said in that video, 100% true. 100%. I was blown away by it. Incredible experience. And it was the best number one six scale figure that was in my collection up to about 2 days ago, until what's in this box right here has now trumped that. As collectors, we always talk about grails, right? That word grail gets thrown around quite a bit. Everyone has their own version of what a grail is. I don't think anyone can criticize anybody what their, whatever their grail is, that's perfectly fine. But then there's also, I think, like holy grail status, where things that are probably so unobtainable that as much as you want them, how often can you say that you really are going to be able to get that in your collection, let alone four of them in your collection? Well, this box here contains one of the four that I consider the ultimate holy grails. As a matter of fact, I made a video about it during, I think, during the holidays, where I talked about if I was ever to get out of the hobby and quit collecting, there was a list of figures that I needed to have in my collection. And if anyone knows, this was part of number one in terms of what it was meant to be for me. And so the fact that this box is sitting on this desk right now, and I'm filming this video with this in front of me and what's behind me, um, I won't lie. As much as I say I wanted these or this, I never thought that would be in my collection. I never thought I'd be filming this video. So I'm going to stop rambling, and we're going to play the video. So I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so if you guys haven't gotten a hint by the box yet, it is the Blitzway 1/6 scale limited edition Ghostbusters. This is the Ray stance, the Dan Aykroyd version from Ghostbusters 1. Um, as I said, I'm kind of at a loss for words with this. I'm going to try to, articulate myself through it, and try to really talk. But um, this is easily it's the best 1/6 scale figure I have in my collection. I know I said that before about the Johnny Depp Jack Sparrow, the DX06. I wasn't wrong about that up to the time of filming that video. However, this is, without a doubt, the most exciting, enjoyable, exhilarating unboxing experience I've had since collecting 1/6 scale figures. Yes, a lot of this is me fanboying over this because it's the Ghostbusters. It's one of my all-time favorite franchises growing up as a kid. I can't put it into words what this actually means. Like I said, I'll try to refrain from pointless rambling, but you're just going to honestly hear my candid thoughts and opinions about this. I am going to be doing actually a couple videos about this figure. As I alluded to, before, this is just something so special to me. And I do have Peter on the way as well. He ships separately. So I will be doing another follow-up video with Peter, just kind of comparing sculpts and stuff. But let me just give you a rundown. Like I said, I'm going to do a couple videos on this because is some things that I want to break down. First and foremost, you hear collectors say all the time, grails, grails, grails. This is actually above grails. This is like holy grails. As I put in the thumbnail, this is holy grail status right now. And to be honest with you, I never thought I'd have this in my collection, let alone potentially more than one. I know we said a lot of times, like, hey, I want to eventually get this in the collection, da da da, but how often does it really come to fruition? A lot of times it's for, it's hopeful thinking, and you move on to other stuff. But I can honestly tell you, watching this video, I never thought I would own at least one of these and have it in my collection, let alone be, having it sit right in front of me. getting the figure, it looks fantastic. A lot of people say that the sculpts, they kind of vary. Like, I mean, this uncanny likeness to Dan Aykroyd is, it's there. I mean, and what I love about this figure, and I watched almost every video review you can watch on YouTube. And what I like about all four of these characters is that it's what they are. Each figure really does symbolize each specific Ghostbuster. This figure pose, as you see here, is very, it's very Ray, right? His ecto goggles on his head, him holding the trap with the gloves, kind of like, we got one kind of thing, after, that whole system, that whole thing. So I feel like this pose that I put him in was very Ray, if that makes any sense. And so, like I said, the accessories. I mean, I'm not going to go too in depth this because it's stuff that you can definitely figure, watch from other reviews. But you do get various hands, and that's what each Ghostbuster does have a little bit variance of accessories, what I do like, which makes it very personalized to each figure. So in this case, Ray has, his gloved hands. He has two non-gloved hands. He has the pointer finger, and then he has one right here that if you want to put the cigarette in his hands, because in the first movie they did all smoke cigarettes. And then he does come with two versions of the cigarettes, a full one and kind of a burnt one. And you have his watch as well. So if you're going to be wearing the non-gloved hands, you could put the watch on there as well. It was a custom watch that they all wore in the movie, so that is very nicely detailed. A couple things. The gloved hands are very stiff. There's really no give in these things. So really, you got to be delicate with these. Even heat them up if you have to. You know, with like a heat gun or something like that. Just because I did attempt to have the gripping hands on the neutrino wand, and it was very difficult to get it on without potentially breaking something. So I opted for a pose like this with him holding the trap. I felt that was more conducive to the character, that so to speak. But the tailoring on the suit, everything like that, the jumpsuit, everything is so great on it. Even the proton stream, it looks fantastic. I mean, the detailing on it, the amount of effects, the detailing that went into this, it's really awesome. As I get Peter and more Ghostbusters, I might end up having them all use the streams just because the streams look so cool. So for right now, I'm going to be left as is. A couple things, like I said, I'm just kind of going over some bullet points. Like I said, there is some be subsequent videos I will be making. The base is garbage. This is like, they're calling it like a 2.0. Like, there's actually an instructional manual of how to build the base. The base is garbage. It really sucks. It's a different kind of base where because it's very back heavy with the proton pack. The figure can topple over. So I do understand what they were going for with the base to try to make it so the pack and everything stays on. But the reality is it is a garbage base. But I've heard that before. It comes with this one came with all the accessories, the newspapers, all that stuff, all the little paper accessories things. And then back there you have the Ghostbusters sign, which you can use. But like I said, really want to focus in on the nuance of the actual character. I will be making a video about what Blitzway got right and what they got wrong with the figures. Now, I'm not trying to be a dick and rip this apart. I absolutely love it, but the perspective that I want to give on the next videos are, I am very into Ghostbusters. I cosplay. I mean, just to give you an example real fast, I mean, there's my proton pack right there that I've used on cons, as you can see. So I'm very kind of, and I have my own jumpsuit, my own belt, and all that stuff. So seeing the figure like this, I am interested looking at the details, and I can't help but look at some of the details. I'm like, they got that a little different. Maybe that's not accurate. And so a lot of the reviews I've seen were from more, I would say casual. I'm not knocking anybody, but they're very just casual, like kind of, it's a great looking figure, but maybe not knowing what the details are. And once again, so I want to make a video about like what Blitzway got right and wrong in terms of the actual details of the design. It's not meant to be a negative video. It's just something that I want to make because I've been wanting these figures for so long that I was scrutinizing over some details on this. But like I said, the sculpt is fantastic. I mean, it really does look great. The paint application, the expression is really, it's Ray. I mean, it's Dan Aykroyd 100%. Tailoring on the suit is really great. Super fragile. Like, there's just so many components between the owl's frame straps, putting the belt on, things like that. One advice I saw in a video was actually taking the belt off and loosening it a little bit, which I did. It was very tight on the figure itself. And so I readjusted some of the belt loops and things like that to try to make it a little more screen accurate to how it was versus when I got the figure. And let me spin this around. I don't have batteries in the proton pack at the time of making this video, so bear with, forgive me on that. but there's the proton pack itself. It's very fragile. If you are a Star Wars fan, and for example, if you have the Sand Trooper up here, I'll focus in. If you have the A New Hope Sand Trooper, you know all too well about assembling the pack on that. Very similar in terms of once you get it on, you kind of just want to don't touch it. Um, it's interesting. Like I said, I'll get into details, but like this is the loom. They call this the split loom, which is the hose running from the pack to the neutrino wand. Also, this is a split loom also. It's made out of a metal material. It's bendable. So it's very like the gun is very delicate popping off the pack. So you got to be careful with that, obviously. There's a lot of force right now that really wants to pull that gun off. If I tap that, the gun will pop right off. It's more of a pressurized system of holding it, but it does take watch batteries. So once you put those in and you turn it on, it lights up. So I'll eventually put those on, but I haven't gotten around to doing it. And like I said, overall, the details on the pack are just, it's so phenomenal. It is to date the only 6 scale proton pack until we see what Present Toys does with their, their third party versions. So there are some details on here that are lacking in terms of comparing it to my actual proton pack, which once again, separate video for another time. But once this was all assembled, it was kind of like definitely get it in a pose and leave it, just because there's just a lot of moving pieces to this between the pack, they call this the P tube, his belt gizmo. There's just a lot going on with this figure that once you get it kind of in a pose that you're satisfied with, you kind of leave it. But it's I've had this figure in my possession for about 2 or 3 days now, and I just can't help but come back and look at it. I had this table set up, as you can see here, to film this video. I just haven't had the time to do it until now, and I just am so taken back by it. It just means so much to me. Like I said, I've been collecting for since I was like 6, 7 years old. And if you look up above here, I have my Ghostbusters, some of my collectibles up there, my Ectos, but more specifically, my love of Ghostbusters even goes back to right there, that Ghostbusters Ecto 1A model that my grandmother bought me. I've had that in my possession since I was literally a kid. That's my oldest collectible that I have, and what's really started me on this whole collector's journey, so to speak. And so, like I said, what this means to me, there's not word. I can't put it into words what this actually means to me. I just can't. And the fact that, like I said, we talk all the time as collectors. Well, I hope, I got a list of stuff that I really like to get one day. How often can you really achieve that? Realistically, between new pre-orders, there's got to be balance in your collecting. And so the fact that I was able to acquire this, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. I did get this as a gift. I don't want to really, I did get it as a gift for my birthday. So that's this and Peter coming in were actually gifts. So I was actually quite surprised about this. That's like a story for another time. But I'm so unbelievable. And I will be on the hunt for the other two, Egon and Winston, down the road, and maybe even potentially the Ecto 1, the original version. But there's just monetary value aside, this just means there isn't a price tag that these mean to me. There isn't. I mean, obviously they're very expensive on the aftermarket, but having this in the collection is just it's a feeling that I can't put into words. I really can't. I was over the moon about the Jack Sparrow, and I feel the same way about that figure. That was my, at the time of making this video, my best hot toy or 6 scale figure I have, and it's been bumped to number 2, and this is number 1. Peter will be number 1. I mean, the group is number 1. All 4 of them are counted as number 1. But what this symbolizes and what this means, this is the embodiment of my childhood sitting in front of me, filming this as we speak. So what my plan is like I said, I'm going to do a couple other videos of some ideas, but I just wanted to give like an updated video of this, because when you look on YouTube, these have been out for such a long time, and obviously they're very rare. You don't see people picking these up that often, so you don't see new videos being made of these, except for, like I said, videos from a couple years back. So I just wanted to give an update on this and kind of give you my thoughts on, some of the things, and just if I was even able to articulate anything that made sense. But I will be making a follow-up video to this, because like I said, these are so sought after, so rare, that I was curious to know. Like I said, I'm going to probably make another video where I really kind of break down the details of the figure and what I feel were accurate and maybe not so accurate. Like I said, because they're so sought after,
I haven't really seen a video of anyone questioning the validity of the accuracy of the figure itself. They just assume that everything is what it is. And so I just thought it'd be interesting to break down some stuff from a different perspective than what I've seen in a lot of other videos. So I hope that gets taken, I'm not trying to make a negative video about this whatsoever. I just want to break down some details of some of the tools and the things that I've noticed on the figure itself that, Blitzway got right and wrong. But overall, absolute amazing. Like I said, it's absolutely amazing. I should have Peter Venkman here, and probably, at the time of filming this, we're in the middle of Chinese New Year, so I'll probably have it in another maybe 2 weeks. So I'll definitely do another video with Peter, just a quicker video like this. I'll have them side by side, and I'll have Peter in a different pose. But once again, guys, this is Ray from the Blitzway Ghostbusters. This is the one of, hopefully by the end of the year, my goal is to have all four by the end of the year. That is what my goal is. But Egon and Winston are, like especially Winston being very sought after. So we'll see what happens. But that is what the goal is to have all four of them by the end of 2024, which is something that would be completely unheard of. That I never thought I'd be able to say that since collecting 6-scale figures. But drop a like on this video. Please consider subscribing if this is in fact your first time and you enjoy the content. And like I said, I'll be making a few more of these videos specifically on the Blitzway Ghostbusters in the upcoming weeks. Just going over some details, and you'll be seeing Peter Venkman here in the collection soon. Until then, this is Mr. Mom Collectibles. See you and take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.